Well, the politics continues in football, and once again, the players continue to not learn lessons from the past, how they fucked up last year with their stupid protest supporting thugs. That is what their protest was about. Let's take a kneel for a fucking thug. I'm so sick of this. I am so sick of this, and the union chimes in. The union, who's the problem here, the real problem, they're the ones who've created this huge monster. These college dropouts who are getting paid unbelievable amounts of money. To do what? Play a kid's game. And they're blaming the White House for canceling all these stupid trips. Yeah. You know why these stupid NFL players do all this charity? It's called a tax write-off. Take away that tax write-off. Take that incentive away, and let's see how many of these players really go out in the community. They're full of shit. They're all full of shit. They support a bunch of thugs. A bunch of thugs who were waving weapons at cops and got shot. Who were acting in some sort of bad manner. And it doesn't include the whites. That is the problem right here. It is racist. Blacks are the biggest racists on the planet. It's all this, oh, I was a slave before. You weren't a fucking slave. You were never a fucking slave. There aren't any slaves. Slavery ended. And there were hardly any who came to America. Only about 300,000. Sorry, chump. Go to South America if you want to see all the slaves. Only 300,000, and they just keep on pouring in. All these Haitian players come in. You know, they come to Miami. They can't stay in their own fucking shithole of a country in Haiti because it's a shithole. Trust me. I live in a sanctuary city that's full of them. What did one of them do this year? She hacked 2 of her kids to death with a knife, kitchen knife. And 2 days later, a neighbor called the police because they were noticing a foul smell and no one's been coming in and out of the house. Well, they greeted her on the lawn and she sort of like sidestepped it, and then next thing you know, she's talking about voodoo. She's saying she was trying to get rid of a voodoo curse. And this is the second one in like a couple weeks. There was another one a couple towns away where 2 older women, voodoo priestesses, were babysitting a couple kids, and they inflicted permanent burns on their body trying to get rid of the voodoo spirits. That's who's coming to this country. That's who's coming to this country. And they're not slaves. They're not slaves. They supposedly won their independence from France, but they can't continue to act like, oh, we got to go to the colonial powers. We got to go to America. And they continue to flood Miami and other shitholes like New Orleans. And surprise, surprise, those have incredibly high crime rates because of all the disgusting people who are allowed to come into this country. And that's who's protesting here. Protesting for thugs. Protesting for thugs in Chicago. All this talk about cops. Cops are killing everyone. I should have refreshed my memory about how many people the KKK killed over the years. But compared to how many blacks kill blacks each year, it's just incredible. Blacks kill almost as many people as the KKK killed in 86 years in 1 year. In 1 year, almost as much, about 2/3 or so. Those are the statistics, and mostly white people get shot by cops. And you know, they always make this about troops. I don't know what the fuck the national anthem is not about troops. You know what it really is about? What they're doing right there? They're spitting in the face of football fans, and the average football fan is a blue-collar worker who uses football as a diversion. And they just spit in his face. And I'm not supporting Trump. I'm not supporting the White House or anything. There's some of the things they've been doing. I can criticize them in other areas, but this thugdom of football players left and right, and includes even the Patriot players, you know, from Super Bowls who refused to go to the White House. And they refused to go to the White House and blah, blah, blah. And this is part of the NFL. This is part of the NFL. And the NFL is, this is a promotional campaign for them. And all these players are going to slap the NFL in the face. They're going to slap the fans in the face because the NFL has many ways to get back at football teams. And they will secretly do that. And the Philadelphia Eagles can expect some problems this year. And all because of these selfish football players who are making way too much money. Way too much money. Their collective bargaining agreement is coming up, and I guarantee they're going to strike. And who knows what they're going to do for the football games if they're not going to go to the White House right here. As if it really matters. Some huge thing. I mean, lots of people go to the White House. They don't just go there because that's my president. You know, they just going to visit the White House. I mean, it's not... I don't think it would be a huge affair going to the White House. It's probably like a dinner or a lunch or something, and they walk around and they look at some of the paintings and statues and stuff like that, and architecture and the grounds, and take some photos. That's about it. And they're doing this little protest, but the next protest is going to be against the football fans. Oh, this is the first one. The next one is going to be against the football fans when they're going to do something. And I guarantee the little pea brains are working overtime right now. They're thinking, what can we do to really upset the cart, the apple cart? And I have to think they're going to do something drastic. Some team out there is going to have a bunch of players just leave the field or something, or just all nailed down and refuse to play, or whatever. Just create some huge distraction. You know, some of the NFL should just kick them out. Kick them out and ban them for life. And they're under contract, so they won't be able to allow to you too easily to sign with some new league that someone will create. And if they're calling it football, I guarantee that's trademarked, and they'll challenge that in the courts. And you're not going to create another league. You're just going to be like Colin Kaepernick, out of job, living with his Muslim woman. Just go move to Turkey. All these football players ought to go move to Turkey or Saudi Arabia. Although they'll love you there, they don't like blacks. They won't like you at all. They won't like you at all. If you just want to, like, do all this stupid protest. You can't even explain yourself when you protest. Yeah, they stick a microphone in front of you. Why are you kneeling? You can't even articulate why you're kneeling. You're kneeling because you're giving up. That's what kneeling means. Fucking idiots. Fucking idiot football players. You'll be called out left and right. And mark my words, if this bullshit continues, you are going to see an incident. There is going to be someone out there, someone a little bit off kilter, a few copyings short of $1, you know, a couple screw looses, loose marbles, and they're going to shoot up some of these football players. And you know what? Bullets go right through your pads. Bullets go right through your stupid, obnoxious outfits you wear between road trips. Someone's just gonna shoot the bus up. Just shoot them up. Watch a bunch of dead football players crash into a facade or something. It's coming. It's coming. They brought it on themselves. They should have been grateful that they get to get paid that much money and not do anything. They should have been grateful to keep their mouth fucking shut. The way it belongs. Shut. They have no right. They disgrace every single person working a blue-collar job. Because all of them have events where company events, you know, 4th of July picnics and, 9/11, they do things. And if you sat there and nailed during that, you would be in trouble. You'd be called in the office. You'd be asked to explain yourself. And if it got up to the higher echelon, because some company picnics are visited by the upper echelon. If they saw that, you're out the door. You're out the door without a job. It might even be contestable whether you can collect unemployment because you purposely violated a company rule. Because it's probably going to be a company rule. It says you have to participate in certain things and not disgrace the company's image. There's all sorts of, if it's a bigger company, more corporate, they definitely have nowadays with social media, they definitely have a social media policy, and if you're doing something like that, you're gone. You're gone, and if you purposely violated the company policy, you might be denied unemployment. Now, these football players, they get so much money, but they're so ghetto. I mean, they take their money and they spend it on the most frivolous things. They can't get a practical car. The average Joe gets a practical car, a pickup truck, or something like that. What do they have to do? They have to go get a Bentley. They have to go get a Rolls Royce. They got to go get a $5 million house with a huge mortgage. You'll be swimming. You'll be swimming in debt when you're fired. The NFL was actually operating like a regular business. They allow you to get away with murder so far, but they continue to alienate fans, and fans are going to stop watching. They're going to complain, and like I said, I can picture a bunch of football players getting shot up. It's quite a possibility nowadays with the media who play the same stories over and over, and they're going to be planning and doing something. And they're going to show that over and over and over again. And there's going to be some person who doesn't have a great deal of a support system around them, or just a understanding in life and life experiences. And they just have a gun. They have a gun, or even a car. And they're just going to kill a bunch of football players. And I won't shed a tear. I'll actually celebrate that. If they want to do this sort of protesting and just ruin this little diversion we've had, and they have been ruining it, fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. If they get killed for this, they're nothing but terrorists. They speak like terrorists. They quote Malcolm X, another terrorist from the 60s, communist. They wave their fists like Nelson Mandela, communist fist pump, all connected with terrorist communism. And they better watch this step. Mark my words, I'm rarely wrong on these type of things. The media, if they continue to show their protest, give them that bully pulpit, that whatever you want to call it, that platform, they're gonna wake up a sleeper cell someplace. Some people have just had enough, and some guy is just gonna go out there with a shotgun and shoot a bunch of these players up. He might even hit some that aren't protesting, but they need to speak out and say, you need to stop fucking protesting. And that goes for the Raiders. That goes for the Raiders. And fucking stupid Mark Davis, wishy-washy, just like Jack Del Rio. I hope Gruden is a little bit different, and he's going to put his foot down and say, no protesting. Because if he doesn't, he will lose the team. And there could be any number of them. It could be an innocent person like Derek Carr, who actually stood for the national anthem. He could get shot. I mean, this is the type of thing they're bringing on. They're upsetting the fringes of society and just everyone else in between. And they're going to bring something nasty on themselves. Totally nasty, and they're, like I said, it's 2020, I believe, is their collective bargaining agreement runs out. But before then, if they're going to do all this protest again, and they're going to think, oh, we'll be more clever than them, we'll just do it on the field. The owners already said they'll pay our fines. If they're going to do that, good luck to them. I actually hope they get shot. You start doing your nailing shit again, I hope you get shot. I hope you're fucking dead. I hope your whole family's shot and killed. I mean, I am sick of these spoiled athletes that we made. We made you. Not the other way around. We made you.